Hey traders, Mark here. As promised, I'm going to do a quick review of some forex stuff. I'm going to start with the spreadsheet, just walk through some numbers, and then I'm going to move to some charts. And I want to show you guys how the forex charts look using this new these updated zones and using the oscillator for overbought or oversold conditions in the direction of a trend. Okay, so I've got a handful of trades in here, guys. This is everything since January 1st, about 170, 165 trades, somewhere in there. Actually, I guess it's 164. Guess I could have just looked up there. Okay, so my win percentage, 24%. Not very high, right? Here's my risk reward, 5 to 1. And I'm risking 1.25% of the account per trade. And where did that number come from? Well, I'm comfortable going all the way up to 1.5. I like using 1, so I just went in the middle at 1.25. So at 1.25 risk percent per trade, you can see so far since January you're about 95% return. Now, that is non-compounded. So what I mean by that is if I were using the most recent account balance based off winners, I would be increasing my contract size. So instead of maybe trading 4 mini lots, I could trade 5 mini lots on each trade. Does it make sense? Okay. Anyway, these numbers are pretty good, guys, and this is just with taking every single trade. Profit factor 1.62, which is pretty solid. Now, if we look at filters, got a couple things that seem to work pretty well. Now, if I remove any trade where I'm trading into the 10-period moving average on the weekly, you can see my profit factor goes up and my profit also goes up. And I still have I didn't reduce my trade count by very much. Now, if I do the same thing with the daily, going to trade into the daily, my profit actually goes down, but my profit factor goes up. So this is not a bad way to go. Just deciding I'm not going to trade into the 10 period and I'm not going to trade into the daily. You reduce trades by quite a bit, about 60%, 55%, whatever, and you're making more money per trade. So let's move over to charts. Alright, these are the updated zones. Now there's a lot more zones on here because I have the old zones that are based off of this chart. Well, they're based off of whatever time frame I'm using. Then I have the new zones. So the maroon and the dark green are the 15-minute zones. And then the blue and the pink, the light blue and the light pink are the updated zones. Now, if we were only taking trades when both of these are the same color and my stochastic, so if both of these are red and my stochastic was over bought and I'm inside of a zone, let's just take a quick look at how that looks. Now, maybe we can add in the divergence trade as well, assuming I have one of these that are in the direction I'm trading. You would have had divergence right here, which would have been a really nice trade. But regardless, let's just start here. I would have taken a trade right here for a loss, and this actually ended up going right into a zone in the zone to the penny or to the pip and going higher. Okay, now I'm back red again, and right here I go oversold. This would have been a loss as well. Then I'm oversold again, and that would have been a nice little winner. Okay, I'm not in agreement on my trend. Right here I am, and that would have been a loss. Okay, these are all old zones. I wish I could figure out a good way to get those to disappear. But you just have to learn to ignore them. Here's a fresh zone, but I'm not in agreement on my trend. Okay, what if I trade in here? And in here? Okay, no trade there. Getting some nice movement out of these higher time frame zones. Pretty choppy action in here. Okay, I'd have a trade right here. That would have been a nice winner as well. So now here's a nice thing about these trades. Guys, a lot of these are going to last, a couple days, maybe even up to a week, which for some of us that like to day trade, that seems like a long time, like an eternity. But for others, guys, it's kind of nice to be able to set it and forget it. And I'm going to be able to, I think, build in these as signals and be able to send out alerts when they're triggering. Okay, you can see red over sold in a zone. Again, I'm just going through the signals, okay? I'm not going to add up any P&Ls. I just want you guys to see what it looks like. Okay, would have had a long in here. It's an old zone, so I wouldn't have messed with it. You would have had a handful of trades through here. It looks like this one may actually hit its, let's see, 53. No, I guess it's not. Actually, I thought it might go hit its target, but it's not going to. And guys, after we're done just kind of zipping through this, I want to talk about some observations. Here would have been a trade. I've had one here as well. Okay, let me go back here and let's just walk through some observations. Okay, what I want you to take note of is look what happens when I have both an updated zone and a current zone together. So these two are pretty close. This didn't work out, but then it nailed it right here, right? Here's another example in this area, and let's see what happens. Look at that, guys. It really works out well when you have these together. Okay, now you have one right in here. See what happens if we get back up there. Okay, now you have one right here for the long side. Did not work out. You have one here for the short side. Looks like it's going to get ran over. Oh, maybe not. Yep. Okay, you got one right here. You got an initial bounce out of there, and then it must have been news. You got slammed down. Okay, got one right here now. Got a real nice move. I mean, look at this, guys. You can keep your risk so tight. I mean, if your risk is this bar, 92 to 99, I mean, you're talking about 10 pips of risk. I mean, that's a great trade. Okay, here's another group. It never comes back into it. See, now we've ran way too far. I would not take a trade here, but you know how forex can be. It can just rip and rip and rip. You see, it turned out not be a good decision. You don't want to trade there. Okay, here's a grouping right here. Look at that, guys. It's fantastic. This is the way I need to code it up. This could be perfect. To code it up this way for the swing signals would be perfect. You see, guys, I haven't spent any time on this aspect of it. I've been too busy dealing with the bugs and with the day trading stuff. But this truly has the most potential to really grow a retirement account, which is what I'm most excited about. Here we go. Here's another little grouping down here. Look at this. Nice. I mean, it's how it holds. And then finally breaks. Okay, now you're going to have one right here. Nope. But again, here's an area where you already had a nice move. But regardless, now you would have had one right here that would have been ran over. Got one right here. And that is gorgeous. Have one right here. Yep, both of these, actually this one and this one, because you can see this one right here, it's inside of these two, right? Now again, I'm not using any kind of a trend right now. This top one right here is a daily trend. This one right here is the daily, so it's probably I would imagine it's going to hold the most weight overall. Okay, so now you have one right here. And it went through this one initially and then caught itself here, but I would have been stopped out right there, just on the way that I trade. Okay, now you have one right here. One right here. You can see this one right. This one's holding. Very nice. We have one here. Again, these are all against the trend. Now you have one right there. Would have had one right here and here. But again, guys, look. I mean, you already had a big move down, right? Where it missed all those zones. You're not trading down here. Have one right here. I should have had here and here. Then you would have had it. Look at this right here. Okay. They would have had long ones down here. Again, clearly against the trend. Still got a nice little bounce there. Okay, right here and here. Also here. All those would have been ran over. You had one right there. Actually, that did okay. Depending on how tight your risk was, that did okay. We've had a long one here. Would have been ran over. And look where it stopped. Well, I guess these aren't. I wouldn't count that actually. I'd be looking for it here. Actually, you got one all through here. Worked out right there. But you would have had one here and here, right? Okay, now here and here. And see, now you have a situation where you've had a nice move already, never made it back into your zones. So I'd be really hesitant going short if another one sets up. Okay, here and here. Look at that. It's like clockwork. It's perfect. And I mean, guys, with I don't know, a 5-to-1 to 8-to-1 reward to risk, you don't need to win a high percentage. Right here. So let's look at this one. Again, what do you guys see? What is your observation? You had a zone here, a zone here, a zone here, a zone here. Never came back to any of them. Are you really trading here? Nope. Okay. Got situation here. Nice. Look at that. Now, I don't know if you would be able to hit target there or not. Well, maybe. If it keeps going down. Oh, yeah. See, 'cause that never would have gone back above your entry point back here. Just had to go back up and test it one more time. Okay, here you go, right here. Very nice. Okay, up here or here. We've been ran over. And again, see how your trend has changed. Got some here against the trend. And we've been a tough one. Yeah, there's no way you would have hit a target. Let's see, you would have had right here with your daily trend. And that would have been your good one right there, right? Same line from the last entry, held here again. And this is where you don't have anything doubled up here, you don't have anything doubled up here, but you do right here. Right here and right here. Okay, you would have had here against the trend and here. Both losers. Now look what it did down here again where it was doubled up. Again, it bounces. Now it's coming down to the bottom line where it's doubled up. Anyway, guys, I thought I'd just show this to you. It looks the same on equities, so looking pretty good. What I need to do is I'll be able to clean this up if I only show areas where these zones are doubled up. And what I need to figure out is how to write the rules for what it means to be doubled up, right? All right, gang. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.